In today's data-driven world, the ability to not only analyze but also effectively communicate the findings of your data analysis is paramount. Whether you're a data scientist, a data analyst, or a professional tasked with data responsibilities, your role doesn't end at uncovering insights. It extends to ensuring these insights are understood and actionable for decision makers. In other words, a data analysis project does not end at building visualizations only. You need to present your insights and findings to the final consumers, and those are the stakeholders who will use these findings to make informed business decisions. In this video, I will show you several ways to present the results of your analysis to both technical and non-technical stakeholders. So sit back, get a cup of tea or coffee, and let's dive straight into it.
So before diving into the data presentation, it's crucial to understand who your stakeholders are. Are they data savvy executives, marketing specialists, or financial professionals? Right? Knowing this will help you choose and tailor your presentation style and language to match their level of understanding. You need to remember that the goal is to make complex data accessible and actionable for everyone, right? So there are different formats that you can use to present your data. I'll be talking about four of them. The first one is to have a shareable link that you can share with them, especially if you have a client that you have done the task for and you want them to be able to interact with the dashboard. But the client does not necessarily have to install a BI tool to be able to interact. But with the URL or link that you'll be sharing with them, with the browser, they'll be able to access and interact with the dashboard. The second method is to present your dashboard in a PowerPoint presentation, right? And present in a boardroom. Now, the third format is to have it in form of a report in Word document, right? Where you talk about the steps you have taken, analysis steps you have taken, and then you have screenshots of your visualizations in that report. And then the fourth one is a PDF format, right? Where you have your reports in a PDF form. So those are the four major ways in which we can present our analysis. And I'll be showing us how to do each of those. Now, for all of your BI tools, Power BI and Tableau, after creating your dashboard on your desktop applications, the first thing you need to do is to upload it onto your online space. Now, for Power BI, our online space is the Power BI service. For Tableau, the online space is the Power BI server or Power BI online. Please note, Power BI online, not Power BI public. Because you cannot upload your sensitive data, confidential data onto the public space. But there's a Power BI online or Power BI service subscription that you can subscribe to, where you can upload or house your confidential data, and that way you can also interact with your colleagues at work if they're also working on the same project with you. In the same way we do with Power BI service, because you can interact with your colleagues on Power BI service, right? Now, if you do not have a Power BI service account or you don't know how to create one, I created a video sometime back on how to create a Power BI service with your personal Gmail, meaning that you don't need to have a school account or a work account to be able to do that. And I'll be dropping the link to that video in the description box of this video, so you can take a look at that one once you are done watching this video. Now, to ensure that we are able to share the report, right, there are a few settings that we need to do, or just one setting majorly. And to make that setting, because it may not be enabled for you by default, so I just want to show you in case you come across that. So you come onto your settings icon here at the top here, click on that, come down to where it says admin portal, click on that, and then at the top here you'll see where it says tenant settings. Under tenant settings, you'll see several sections. This is the Microsoft Fabric section, This is help and support settings. Look for the section that says sharing and export and sharing, which is this section here. Under export and sharing, look for the one that says export reports as Power BI presentation or PDF document. If you click on the arrow, you will see where it says mine is enabled now, right? Yours may be like this, which means it's not enabled, and then you will not be able to share the report. So you need to enable it to ensure that you are able to share, and then you click on apply. Okay, so once the changes is applied, you can then go ahead um, to share the report as normal. So I'll go back to my report by clicking here. Okay, so let's start with the first method or first format of sharing your report, which is I think is the simplest one, which is just sharing the URL. So to share the URL of this report to ensure that everyone that has the URL can interact with the report through a simple browser, a web browser, you come on to where it says File, right? Go to the section that says Embed Report and then click on Publish to Web, right? Once you click on that, there will be two links that will show up for you. So the first one is if you want to embed report in a website, and then the other one is if you want to send the link to someone that will be able to view via a web browser and can interact with our report. So you simply click on here, right? Copy the report, copy the link. Okay, so that is copied onto our desktop, and then you can share it via email or your Teams meeting or whatever form you want to share it. You can also include it in a Word document. Let's say you have a report of a Word document and you want to include that link so that whoever has access to the report can click on the link and then interact with the dashboard. That's one way. Now, the second method is to have a report like this, right? Where you have a detailed report of your analysis in a Microsoft document. You talk about the data, you have an introduction, which is the objective of the project, and then the purpose of the report, right? The objective and goals of the analysis, the data requirements. You talk about the different data columns, what they do, how you sourced for your data, how you cleaned your data, and things like that. So once you have all of that, then you can go ahead and talk about your key findings and insights from your analysis. And then from there, you can go ahead and include screenshots, images of your analysis into each of the relevant sections, right? So these ones are just images, these are screenshots. I can't interact with them, right? So this is the second method for you to share your report. Now, the third and then at the last section, you can have recommendations based on your insights and from the report. You can then have recommendations for the stakeholders to act upon, and then you have your conclusions and then limitations of the analysis and the challenges you faced when you were analyzing the report, when you're analyzing the data. That's option two. Now, the third method is to have it in a PowerPoint presentation, right? Let's say you want to present the data to stakeholders in a boardroom. So all you have to do to be able to do that is to come to the section here that says export, and then you see where it says PowerPoint, and then you click on where it says embed live data. When you do embed live data, what that would do for you is that it will import or embed the dashboard with its underlying data set into the PowerPoint presentation. So that way you'll be able all your filters, all your navigations, all your everything will remain the same, right? Because you have the data also embedded. So let's click on that and see what that looks like. Okay, so once you click on that, it will come up with this page, and then you click here to copy the link for us to be able to embed in PowerPoint. So once I copy, this is copied now. I'll close this, and then you open a blank PowerPoint presentation, right? Once you are on the PowerPoint presentation, you come under your home tab and click on add-ins. Sometimes you may not have these add-ins under the home tab, it may be under your insert. So just look under your home or insert for the add-ins. Click on add-ins, right? And then you want to search for Microsoft Power BI because it's a Microsoft Power BI project that I want to embed here. So Microsoft Power BI, and then you choose the first one. So once you add that, it will add onto your add-ins. I already have it added in under my add-ins. This is it here. So if you will go on that store, if you are using it for the first time, just search for Microsoft Power BI and then it will pop up for you. If it is a Tableau dashboard that you want to embed onto the PowerPoint presentation, just search for Tableau also. Okay, once you search for Tableau, this is the first one that you'll be using, the V slides. You can see the description says easily integrate your live Tableau dashboards in PowerPoint or Excel. You can also go ahead and add that. I have both of them added here for me. But the one we'll be making use of now in this video is the Microsoft Power BI. I'll click on that and then click on add. So once you do that, this will pop up for us and give us a place where we can drop the data, the URL. Sorry. So the URL we copied from our Power BI service. You see where it says paste a URL from Power BI here. So I'll drop my URL and then I'll click on insert. Okay. Right. Right. So once you click on insert, it will load up the Power BI. It will load up the dashboard for us. So let's just wait for that to load up. Okay. So we can see it's all loaded up here. Let me zoom so that you can see that. Okay, it's quite small. I'm trying to enlarge it. Okay, so we can see that here that we have our live data. So if I click on any of my filters for beginner, for example, you'll see that it will filter the dashboard because we have the underlying data that has come with it. I can navigate and go to another page, right? Just like you would do normally and interact with dashboards on the desktop application, right? Okay, so you see all the filters are intact. Now, let's say you don't want to have the whole data set embedded here. You can go the other route of having it as an image. So from our Power BI service, remember when we click on export PowerPoint, we said we can have it as live data or embed as an image. So you can either embed that as an image, right? Now, let's say you don't want to embed the whole dashboard. You just want to embed a particular visualization. For example, let's say this is the only one I want to embed, not the whole dashboard. What you have to do is click on that visualization. At the top right here, the three dots that says more options, click on that. Okay, and then go to where it says share. Then you click on link to this visual. Can we see that? Link to this visual. You click on that. That will copy the link to that visual alone, right? And then again, you can go to your Power BI. Just do Control N to do a new slide. Okay, so you can go to your Power BI PowerPoint presentation, sorry, and then again you go to add-ins and then go to that one and paste the URL for that particular visual. Okay, so let that just come up. So this is the URL, and then I'll click on insert, and that will bring just that visualization alone onto the presentation for us. So we can see we have just single visualization, not the whole dashboard. So that's another way you can go about it. You can also have it as an image. If you don't want to be able to interact. For this one now, we can interact because it still has the underlying data imported with it. Now, let's say you don't want to import the underlying data, you just want to have it as an image, right? Right? You can click on this little icon at the bottom where it says live data. Click on that arrow and then you click on snapshot. Show an image of Power BI data to people in an existing with existing access. Or you go to the other one that says show an image of Power BI data to people with access to this deck. That's one. The other way, now the last format for your presentation, right? We have talked about sharing the link. We have talked about having it in a Word document. And then we have talked about embedding it into a PowerPoint presentation. The last method is to have it exported as a PDF. Now, to be able to do that, we'll go back to our Power BI service. Okay. Now, we're back to our Power BI service. You go back to export, and then you can see these options that says PDF. So if you click on that, now it's asking you, do you want to export the current values only or the default values? That's if you have filtered the dashboard and you want only the current values to show. If you want everything to show as it is by default, you click on default values, right? Now, my current value is also my default value because I have not applied any filter to this. So I'll leave that. If you want to exclude hidden report tabs, if you have hidden any reports, you can check this so that it will not export that into your PDF. Also, if you want to export only the current page, you select this so that all other pages in your report will not be exported with it. But I want all of them in my report, so I'll just I'll leave this unchecked and then I'll click on export. Once you click on export, it will download onto your document. I have mine saved here under my downloads already. Okay, so if you open it up, you will see what it looks like. So this is what I have. All of my reports have been downloaded in a PDF format for me, right? All of the pages. And for this one, I can edit the PDF document. Interestingly, if you go to, there are some online tools you can use, but I won't advise you use free online tools to be able to edit the document. But if you can have additional reports, right? Like in a Word document and attach to this as your final report. Okay, right. So that is it for this video today. I hope you have found it interesting and you've been able to pick one or two things from it. Now, on the final note, I want to mention that as powerful as data is, right, it is the storytelling that really engages your audience. So you want to start your presentation by framing your analysis with clear objectives, right, and problem statements. Also, take your stakeholders on a journey from data collection to insights. You will want to highlight the key findings of your analysis and the actionable recommendations. It's not just about building dashboards and visualizations. What are you trying to communicate? Are those visualizations addressing the pain points of the stakeholders? Are they addressing the goals and objectives of your analysis? So that's one key thing you need to take into consideration. Also, you need to include actionable recommendations along the way. So, as you are presenting, as you talk about your insights and findings, you need to mention or recommend some actionable steps that can be taken as well. Okay. Make use of charts, graphs, and infographics to support your narratives and also make the data come alive. Avoid the technical jargons as much as possible in your presentation. Focus only on the relevant insights that align with your stakeholders' goals and interests. So that is it for this video today. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.